What is going on, everyone? It is no question that Houston is now a destination for pending free agents. If I'm someone who wants to contend, who wants to win, and have an opportunity to fight for a Lombardi trophy, I am circling the Houston Texans. I see what they did in year one. A proven head coach in D'Amico Ryans, a game-changing rookie quarterback in CJ Stroud, some key young pieces on the defense, Will Anderson Jr., Christian Harris, Derek Stingley. The future is as bright as can be for this Houston Texans franchise. And guys, they are players away from being a championship roster. The work just got started for this front office and general manager Nick Caserio. This right now is the most exciting time it has ever been for a Houston Texans fan. So make sure you guys are tapped in. We're going to be looking at some more free agents to target. Welcome to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, so make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for the latest news, rumors, and updates. And if you guys are new here to the channel, welcome. Trying to hit 10K subscribers by the end of the season. Please help me get there. And thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Now, the first player we're going to be talking about is linebacker Patrick Queen from the Baltimore Ravens, and a lot of Houston Texans fans love Queen. Remember, a couple of months into the offseason, him and Derek Stingley were going back and forth on social media, kind of hinting and flirting at the possibility of Patrick Queen being a Houston Texans. Since then, for some Houston Texans fans, Patrick Queen has been at the top of the list for their free agent once. And man, Patrick Queen is a legit linebacker in this league, only 24 years old. If you sign him in for agency, you are getting Patrick Queen in the prime of his career. And just imagine a D'Amico Ryans defense with your two starting linebackers being Patrick Queen and Christian Harris. This season for Queen was insane. 133 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, gets his first Pro Bowl nod, second team All-Pro. This dude is about to become one of the best linebackers in the NFL, and the Houston Texans have an opportunity to bring him here to Houston. This is what PFF had to say about Patrick Queen. Queen's pass rushing prowess is not captured below, but it carries significant value in addition to his strong play against the run and in coverage over the past 2 seasons. His 48 quarterback pressures and 8 sacks over the past 2 seasons are both second among off-ball linebackers, with Baltimore's addition of linebacker Roquan Smith, the highest paid player at the position after last year's extension, and the team having several other friendly free agents like Justin Madubuike, Queen should get to test the market and potentially do quite well for himself, and they have his contract projected at a 4-year, $72.5 million contract with $50.25 million guaranteed, and his salary a year $18.13 million. That's what it will take to get Patrick Queen on the Houston Texans. Potentially go out there and do it. We just saw the Baltimore Ravens defense with 2 elite linebackers, and think about that type of play here in H-Town with a D'Amico Ryans spin on it. This defense, if Patrick Queen is on here, will be elite. Second player we're going to be talking about, running back Josh Jacobs from the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is what head coach D'Amico Ryans said yesterday about the running game. We have many different areas to improve, and the running game is one of those areas. Now, I don't think the Houston Texans put that much investment into the offensive line this year. They did that the previous 3. I think the Houston Texans are going to be going after a running back, and Josh Jacobs, who is still only 26 years old, has a lot left in the tank, and I think there is an untapped potential for Josh Jacobs. Now, he only played in 13 games this year. His season was ended due to a quad injury. 805 yards, 6 touchdowns. Receiving wise, this is why I love Josh Jacobs, because I think there is an untapped potential. This dude can catch the football. He caught 37 balls for 296 yards. Now look at the season before where he led the league in rushing. 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, and he also, receiving wise, caught 53 passes for 400 yards. Josh Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen, can be a weapon on the Houston Texans. And unlike Saquon Barkley, you could trust that Josh Jacobs can stay healthy and be effective on the football field. Now, this is what PFF has to say about Josh Jacobs. A year removed from winning the Russian title in 2022, Jacobs endured an ugly start to the year amid the implosion of the Josh McDaniels era, and his rushing grade finished nearly 10 points below any prior season. He averaged just 3.5 yards per carry in 2023. Fortunately, Jacobs being utilized more frequently and effectively was a focal point of the Antonio Pierce regime. He amassed at least 98 scrimmage yards in 3 of those 5 games before a quad injury ended his season. Jacobs will turn just 26 this month before free agency and should have still plenty of left in the tank. Just imagine how dangerous this Houston Texan offense will be with Josh Jacobs as your running back. If Bobby Slowick does stay, he is going to cook up something nice. Houston Texans, PFF has Josh Jacobs' predicted contract as a 3-year, $34.5 million with $21.25 million guaranteed and a yearly average of 11.5. That's what it would potentially take for the Houston Texans to get Josh Jacobs. Now, the third guy we're going to be talking about is wide receiver Curtis Samuel from the Washington Commanders. If the Houston Texans don't prioritize wide receiver in free agency and they plan to run it back with Nico Collins and Tank Dell, that's absolutely fine. But I would want a legit wide receiver 3. Now, we know how special a wide receiver 3 can be with this Houston Texan offense. We saw Noah Brown go off for back-to-back 150-yard performances. I think Curtis Samuel will be a great addition to this Houston Texan offense. Not only is he a threat in the passing game, but he has been used as a ball carrier his entire career as well. His stats this year: 62 receptions for 613 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns on the ground, 39 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Now he has 3 seasons over 100 yards, 130, 187, 200, and he has at least 1 to 2 rushing touchdowns in 5 out of his 7 seasons in the NFL. So Curtis Samuel is a weapon. He's a Swiss Army knife, and let's see what PFF has to say. Samuel was an efficient target in Eric Bieniemy's Washington offense that spread the ball around way more than any team in the NFL. Hauling in just shy of 73 of passes thrown his way with just 4 drops on 85 targets in 2023. Samuel was used as a ball carrier in 2023 like he was in 2022 and previous seasons dating back to his Ohio State days. His Swiss Army knife skill set shows up with good change of direction in space and start-stop ability that is still above average at this stage of his career, and they have his contract projected a 2-year, $18 million deal, $11.5 million guaranteed, and in those 2 years, he will average $9 million a year. That is nothing. That is something that the Houston Texans should definitely take a look at if they're not going to prioritize wide receiver in free agency. I think Curtis Samuel will be a great addition, and you might see one of his best seasons with the quarterback like CJ Stroud. If he's here, I think the future is only bright for him as well.